Hi guys, Liz here at ProjectPanty.com, and today is an episode of Ask Liz. Now, I've actually done Ask Liz a few years before, but I stopped doing it because, just got busy and ran out of questions. But lately, I've been doing a lot of Ask Liz questions sessions on Instagram, and that Snap's barking in the back end. He won't stop, so I'm just gonna let him do it. But anyways, I thought of reviving this section again because I just love answering questions. I love good questions. So today I put out an Ask Me Anything sort of thing on my Instagram, which you should follow, by the way. I am Liz Lanuzo there. And I'm just gonna answer them right now. And of course, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel before moving on. But yeah, let's begin. So the first question that I got today is from Har. That's literally her name. Hello, Har. So she asked me, what are effective or tested tips on how to be financially stable? Now, that's a tough question, okay? That's a really hard question because, when it comes to finances, every person's situation is very different. As for me, I decided to be independent at a very young age. Like, pagka-graduate ko ng college, I left my parents' house na, I moved to Manila, and I started working 2 weeks after graduation. And I didn't really have a lot of money, wala akong mana, I didn't come from a rich family or anything like that. So obviously it was a very scary move for me. But I just really started working. I started doing, basically the best I can in every job I got. So I started as a marketing person for a domain company, and that was just for 8 months. Yun yung una and last na full-time job ko ever. Tapos noon, I started freelancing. I started being a freelance writer, freelance marketing, freelance project manager, anything na freelance na kaya kong gawin, ginawa ko, guys. Until I started getting my own clients, and that's really enabled me to start my own company also. So all of this, I'm telling you this kwento, not to be mayabang or anything, but I just want to explain how I got from zero to this point in my life. I wouldn't say I'm financially 100% stable because, I run a business. There's a lot of risk in a business, but at least, I'm okay. I mean, I don't have to worry so much about money anymore because, I have a machine. I have a company that basically provides me a pretty good source of income. So that's my answer. Number one, being financially stable is about resource creation. It's very important to be able to look at yourself honestly and think, what kind of skills do I have? What are my most marketable skills? And how can I use this to make more money? How can I sell this to make more money for myself? Because, I'm not the kind of person who'll tell you to quit your job, pursue your dreams, travel the world, and not be fiscally responsible in your life. I'm not gonna do that. But I am gonna tell you to really think about your circumstances and, from here until to your goal, what needs to be done, what kind of tools, what kind of resources do you have that can get it done? What kind of network do you have? Do you have a mentor, perhaps? Do you have friends who can help you get more freelance jobs or maybe a higher paying job? It really depends on what you have, but you have to look at it and you have to be honest with yourself and your goals. You want to be able to just make more money, and don't say no before you've even tried it. I know a lot of people, when I talk to them, why don't you do freelance or start a business, and they're like, oh, I can't do that because I'm like this, I'm like that, I'm mahiyain, whatever. There's always an excuse, there's always a reason you can't do it, but you need only one to be able to start. My second advice is actually about simple advice, don't spend any more money than you actually have. So I know it's so common sense, but even if you make a lot of money but you keep on spending it and you keep putting yourself in debt, it's a problem. Personally, I don't have any personal debt. So I'm actually really happy about that because it's important for me not to have to owe money to other people. I don't really go beyond what I can afford kasi alam ko naman eh. I know how much money I make, how much I expect to make, and I know what I can't live without. At the end of the day, what's important is really, that you really like what you're doing and you enjoy it, and that's where you get your fulfillment. You shouldn't get it from stuff. You shouldn't get it from nice things. I mean, of course, I love my nice things, but that's not why I do this. I don't work so hard so I can buy a designer bag or designer shoes. I work hard so that I can build the exact kind of life I want for myself, so that I can have the freedom to like wake up anytime I want, go to office anytime I want, decide how much salary I get, stuff like that. And it's really important for me, that freedom, and I don't, no amount of money is worth that. So spend only exactly what you have, or exactly what you make. That's my number 2 advice. My third advice, this is just common sense stuff. It's really important to have like an emergency fund. So you have to have at least 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses in the bank. Now, this money is not just for, it's not just for your peace of mind. Of course, it's nice, like if you lose your job or suddenly something happens. It's not just that. It's an important part of it, but it's not just that, because money is just money. But what this does actually is to give you the courage to pursue new things. Like when you have something in the bank and okay, I have 3 months, I have 3 months to think about my life, if I quit my job, or if I try this new thing, or if I choose to invest in something or start a business, then it gives you the courage to just kind of step forward, and do what you need to do to be able to get to the goal that you have set for yourself. So that's what it is. It's courage. It's literally fiscal courage. And that's really important to me. So those are my top 3 advice. I mean, I have other advice, but this is, I guess, the most important thing that I want you guys to take away from this. Second question is from Tangles and Travels on Instagram. How do you keep focused when there are a lot of roadblocks? I admire your drive as a businesswoman. Thank you so much. How do I keep myself focused when there are a lot of roadblocks? There's always a lot of roadblocks. It never stops. I mean, every time you achieve something new, there's always the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So it never stops. Like, if you always challenge yourself and if you always strive to be better at whatever it is you're attempting or doing, then there's always gonna be a roadblock. It's foolish to think that this is just a temporary thing, or like something that happens down the road. No, the whole road is a roadblock. It's important to think of life that way, because if you think of life that way, I think what that allows you is it gives you perspective. Like, everybody's life is freaking hard. No matter where you are in life, there's always a challenge. But at least if you know that there will always be a challenge, you expect that, you'll be able to sort of have that mindset na, okay, what can I do? What's the next thing that I need to do? How can I fix this? How can I solve this? There's always a problem-solving mindset. When it comes to focus, for me, it's always, okay, identify the problem, and then identify the solution. I know, it's so simple. What can I do? It's always like that. What can I do? Just try to keep yourself on the ground. Just try to keep on solving the problems as they come. Like, people always have this idea na, oh, this is such a big problem. How do I solve this huge mass of issue that, you feel you're not equipped for? But, if you have your fundamentals right, and you have good mentors, and you're willing to do what it takes, then you can start solving the little problems. And the way you solve little problems will inform you on how to solve the bigger problems, and bigger problems, and bigger problems, and so on and so forth. So solve the little problems first, focus on that, and then just keep on doing that until you solve that mass of problems. When a lot of people think na, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that because I'm this or that, whatever, there's always a reason. But what you want to think about instead is, what can I do? What do I have that can help me solve this? And so that's my advice for that. That's how I keep myself focused. This is a nice question. I find it cute. Re_Annie asked, when did you start to paint? Okay, when did I start to paint? I started to paint, I think, oh my gosh, was it 5 years ago? Before I met James, for sure. I started to paint mga 5 years ago. So I saw this stationery in Japan when I went. This is super cute. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but it's such a cute cat stationery. Like, I saw this in Shibuya, right? In one of those cutesy young people stores. And it was my first time ever in Japan. And I was so inspired. Like, look at that illustration! It's just the cutest thing. I love it. And I bought this and I went home and I'm like, I want to draw like this. I've always been interested in art. Like, when I was a kid, I would always have a drawing book. I would always sketch around school or whatnot. But I stopped, when I started to work. But when I went to Japan 5 years ago, I was so inspired. I actually started to do more of mga paper art. like collages, things like that. Paper, like stationery also. But after that, I'm like, I want to draw like this. And so I studied. When I studied, I bought so many books. As in, lagi ako nasa fully book, looking for a new book. And whenever I travel, I'm gonna be in the bookstore, like looking for the art books and the watercolor books. But the most important, the most useful book that I actually found is this one. This is the so useful to me. This was so useful to me. This is the Painting with Watercolors, Oils, and Acrylics and Gouache. So by Wendy Gelbert and Ian Sidawe, I don't know. And this is such a nice book kasi it's very detailed and it has all the instruction you need to be able to paint in all these different mediums. Of course, yung focus ko nun, watercolor lang, right? But, pero, like, you know, later on, I would sometimes read about the gouache and acrylic, and even oil. Pero oil, hindi ko pa na-try kasi na-intimidate ako. But yeah, dito ko natuto. I have a lot of books, but I would say this was one of the most useful ones. And this was like 500 pesos lang in Power Books. Or Power Books siya nun. Ngayon, Art Bar na siya. And I just love it. I love this one. So, I want to show you like just a couple of my paintings. I actually gave the rest to my team kasi I had it scanned for future use. But this one is an older painting actually. And it's just, I love painting women. I love painting portraits, yung mga women in looking sad or angry or distressed. I don't know why. It's just fun for me. Obviously, I love makeup. I love painting faces. And so, I enjoy portraits in particular. I enjoy yung mga portraits like this, you know, what do you call it? Figurative ba? Hindi figurative eh. Hindi figurative portrait. Meron siyang specific term. If you guys could tell me. I forgot right now. But this is another one. This one I did naman. This one I did with colored pencil. Ayan. I love how colored pencil can make everything look so creamy and so realistic. Although mas matrabaho siya than watercolor. Like, it takes so much more effort with a pencil. But yeah, so that's the story of how I painted. I mean, I don't paint as often as I like to these days just because I'm always busy, you know. I mean, it's hard because I'm running essentially what is two businesses. I'm running projectvanity.com and then I'm running In Her Element Skincare. So medyo, walang time, but I try. I mean, I'm gonna try harder, alright? So that's my promise to you guys. Anyway, that's it for Ask Liz. Thank you guys for asking me questions. I'm gonna do this every so often on Instagram, and if there are good questions, I'm gonna be answering them. But yeah, please do follow me on Instagram. I am Liz Lanuzo there. You can also follow me on projectvanity.com on Instagram. But of course, please do read projectvanity.com. I have a column there actually called Letter from the Editor. So I sometimes put some of my musings there since, you know, I still love writing and I still love blogging. So you can follow me there as well. Alright? So I'll see you there, guys. Bye!